Maddie, you've only had really 3 years in racing. You started in F4 in 2022. How was that experience in single seaters?
I really enjoyed single seaters. They will always hold a near and dear place in my heart. Um, I feel like starting in single seaters where it's a little bit less forgiving really helped me develop a lot quicker, especially coming into racing at a later point in my life. It really helped me kind of get on the game and develop as quick as possible.
So this year, 2025, we see you in a full season in TTR. So you're in a road car as opposed to a single seater race car. How's that transition from what you learned in single seaters into road cars given you?
What I've noticed from single seaters to race cars is that you can drive a race car pretty close to a single seater, but you can't drive a single seater like a sports car. So it hasn't been too bad of a transition. There's always those like nitty little gritty things about every car that you kind of have to learn to get that extra bit of pace out of it. But I feel like it wasn't too hard of a transition.
Daytona saw your first race. I know we've that was back in March with in TCR. How would you describe that weekend? I mean, also Daytona is such an amazing circuit to debut at.
It was pretty surreal for me being at Daytona. Growing up in America, that's obviously a big track, and no matter what type of racing you're doing, I'd never been there before. Going up on the banking for the first time, it was definitely an experience. We did quite well there, qualified sixth. I was extremely happy with our result. And I feel like having the roar before the 24 just gave us a lot of time to kind of learn how the team operates for me, for sure, being new. And I just feel like we made a lot of progress.
So you had a relatively successful weekend considering all those things, and then you moved on to Sebring, and I guess that sort of gave you another challenge. And Sebring again is another circuit which is a very integral part of the IMSA lineup.
Yep, Sebring's iconic, the bumps, all of it. We had a bit of a difficulty there. I think for me, just the nature of the track can be a bit tricky. Still kind of learning the car as a second race in it. Unfortunately, we had some difficulties during the race, got taken out, we recovered. Unfortunately, didn't run out of fuel, but it happens. I'm looking forward to the next race. I feel like we can take what we learned and move forward.
I mean, there's a lot to learn. A new team, new teammates, new crew around you. What would you say you've taken from these first two events to sort of give you confidence going into the next one?
Being around the Bryan Herta Autosports crew and team has really been amazing. They have a lot of people with an insane amount of experience. So I've just been trying to draw out of them whatever I can, and everyone's been super supportive. It's really just a great environment to be in.
Are you enjoying it?
Of course, yes.
And just finally, as I said earlier, you're very early on in your motorsport career. What was it that made you choose motorsport as a career?
For me, it was kind of the first day I was in the track at the track in a car. There's something about it that I don't know, I loved. I had coming from competitive cheer, which I thought was going to be my end all be all sport for life, and then finding something even better than that. I mean, my poor dad, I kept asking him to take me back to the track like every day. So it's really amazing.
And how competitive is the field in TCR?
It's quite competitive. I'm not gonna lie. There's not necessarily a crazy amount of cars from the series I was in last year, but everyone is super tough. It's not any give me's. You're gonna be fighting for every spot you're going for.
And as well as the racing and keeping fit and everything that you have to do for racing, you're still at school as well. So you're still studying. So you've got a full diary.
I do. It's a bit difficult, but I feel like what I'm learning in school is gonna eventually help me in motorsports, studying engineering. It kind of translates, you learn things, and when you're talking to the engineers, you kind of understand it a little bit better than what some other people might. So I feel like it'll help give me an advantage in the long run.
I think they say knowledge is power.
Yeah.
Maddie, thank you so much. Great to chat to you.
Yep. You too.